Ugh, Dad, coffee's just burnt water. So in full disclosure, I am third generation, mostly Swedish. I grew up hearing my grandfather speak that sing-song dialect in the house to all of his family and friends every summer. And as beautiful a language as it is, I never really learned much of it, and neither did my dad. I think we, between us, know 2 or 3 words. So why is that a big deal, you ask? Well, something else didn't get handed down either, and that was the family's love of coffee. See, Sweden is one of the biggest coffee drinking nations in the entire world, and it's deeply in part of our culture growing up. So as I grew up, I would hear all kinds of stories about, just how much it was part of our blood and our lifeline, because every adult back then, when they woke up, would grab a cup of coffee and get to the day. And anytime we'd go out to eat, my dad would always have a mug of coffee. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, it didn't matter. So I quite didn't understand. In fact, as you heard me say earlier, to me, coffee back then was just burnt water. See, I grew up in the American land of the Swedish people. That would be Minnesota. And in Minnesota, there's 2 things that you do. You drink coffee and you play hockey. And hockey is so ingrained in the culture of Minnesota that in high school, you actually can get out of going to class to go to the high school state hockey tournament. And lots of fun memories. In fact, I played hockey from the age of about 9 to about 18, 19, somewhere in there. So on Saturday mornings, my dad would pick me up, and we would have the early ice times. When you're little, like in the peewees and the little kid leagues, you had the earliest ice times. So we would often go to Perkins for breakfast, and that would be like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, because our games would start at 7. And we would go out to breakfast, and my dad, first thing, coffee, black, and I would be like, ugh. And, like I said earlier, it's just burnt water to me as a little kid, and no taste, nothing. So my dad would often say that, you're Swedish, you're going to grow into loving this drink. And I was like, there's absolutely no way. And to be honest with you, there wasn't until I was in my early 30s. And even then, you couldn't get me excited about coffee unless it had something else in it. At first, it was milk and sugar. And, little did I know that was, a latte or an Americano. And then, growing up, I loved, sweets and chocolate. So the next best thing would be the mocha. And it's still, even then, it was very, very sporadic. And I don't know what happened, but I think my father and his father, and all the way back to the people of Sweden, something's in your blood, and I guess it must have been dormant inside of me. So if my grandfather were alive today, I think he'd be proud, because my name is Chase, and he used to love to call me Chase and Sanborn. We'd be at the family beach in Minnesota, and I'd come walking up, and he'd say, "Chase and Sanborn, how are you doing?" And I'd be like, "Okay, Grandpa." I didn't know what that meant. And he's like, "Oh, it's a coffee company, and one day you'll appreciate it." And I'd be like, "Okay, whatever." You know how grandparents are. But lo and behold, it's come true. So now here I am on this journey. I'm starting to figure out a little bit of coffee. I'm starting to figure out kind of what I like and what I don't like. But if I'm going to be honest, I only know 1 or 2 ways of how to make coffee. So that's what I'm hoping this channel will be. It will be a journey on learning different things about coffee, different roasts, different brewing techniques, things that you guys will share with me that I'll learn, and maybe I'll learn something I can share with you along the way. I'm hoping to learn about my family and heritage and why coffee is important to their lifestyle, and just different ways growing up coffee played importance in different people's lives. And I'm hoping you'll share some of that too, because this could be a fantastic journey. I really hope you leave a comment, that you subscribe and you like this video. And thank you. I really appreciate you coming along with this journey with me. And let's see if I can actually do this. Didn't work.